So, man, One Piece chapter 638. See, this is what I'm talking about, right? See, when I say I want something, okay, Oda, it never fails. He's been doing this a lot, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. A lot of times when I say I want to see something, I want to see him go somewhere, it's like the very next chapter, he goes there. It's like last chapter, I said, man, I wanted to see a bit of a stronger reaction out of Hody Jones, like dark skin, light skin. Maybe Oda's gonna go here with it. Maybe we're actually gonna see that, and then all of a sudden, that's exactly where he goes. And you got at the end of the chapter, you got Hody Jones, and he's walking up to Decken. Decken's like, "Hey, how you doing, brother? You know what's good? Everything alright?" And you got Hody Jones just slowly stalking up this guy, and he says, Decken, if you die, what happens to the ship?" And he just stabs this dude right through the abdomen. And that's what I love to see, right? Because if you're going to be doing an arc on racism and just the evils that kind of come with that, you got to touch on the infighting that comes in the minority community. And because I get like the vibes of the civil rights stuff, you have to touch on it with the dark skin, light skin stuff. That's what Oda did with this. Like, I don't know if you know Oda might got some brothers on payroll, baby. But you know what I thought was interesting was Oda just went there. He went there, and you know, me being a black male, I can say this. You know, like I caught like a lot of shit a few years ago. I used to say like, man, I ain't worried about no cop coming up and blowing my fucking brains out. I'm worried about somebody that's my complexion or darker coming up and blowing my brains out, because we're more likely to shoot each other than a police officer is to shoot us. It just, the numbers go up because you got the whole thing with the per capita, because it's not as many, because if you got 100 people, a small number, but if you got 100 people and say 30 of them are men, and then you kill 10 of the men, then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, that's a bigger number, opposed to if you got 10,000 men and then you kill 20 of those men. It's percentage wise. But getting into that, I like Oda just went there with it. And on the other side though, I like how with Shirahoshi, to me, it almost feels as if with Shirahoshi, she's supposed to represent what the next generation is, okay? Like the next generation is supposed to be, what's the right way to put this? They're supposed to be able to see past the evils that the last gen did. Like with the last gen, they're supposed to go through, muck it up, create a better world for the next gen to be able to live their lives, and maybe because of what's left behind for them, they're able to turn the world into a better place, which is why you had Odahime, who is making all these different, you know, things with the kids and teaching them stuff, filling their heads with all these grandiose things. And so when you have Shirahoshi, she's doing what I would say the millennial generation is doing now, right? You know, that'd be my generation. I know a lot of my viewers are in that Gen Z, right? You know, Gen Z's behind mine, okay? But what I'm saying is, it's like Odahime fills the ideas with the different things, and then the next gen takes it and runs with it to try and leave things a little better for the ones coming up behind them. And so with Shirahoshi, you see her, she's doing the brave thing. She's like, well, if the ship's coming after me, if I can get further enough away from this island, if I can go all the way through the palace and through those gates and go further and further up, then maybe the ship won't crash into the island. I can save it. And so what you see is you have all the older gen, right? And the older gen, for this, the purpose of this analogy, they'll be like your Gen X's and your baby boomers, okay? The older gen, they're trying to hold down that ship by pulling on those chains, and they're doing everything, but their time's passed. They're not able to make that impact. And what you see with Eiichiro Oda, what you see with this is, you have Hody Jones, who looks down. It's like, look, you ain't getting in my way. Has the shark arrows kind of get speared through. They're cutting everybody up. basically taking them out the picture, and you got the current gen, and then you got the gen right beneath them. So I love this. I just love like the symbolism in this. I thought this was very interesting, very creative. Again, when it comes to Oda, I give him more benefit of the doubt than I would usually give to another mangaka, because a lot of times I'm like, hey, you didn't, you had your moment of brilliance, you thought you were going to do this, you might have been going for this, but you probably didn't realize you were doing this. Oda's so meticulous with the stuff. That wasn't by accident that you have the older gen taken out, and you have the current gen and then the generation beneath them. And even when you look at the brothers and everything, because of the ages, I mean, it's very interesting. Very interesting how Oda kind of puts all this together. I thought that this was a very nice setup. Very nice setup. And on the other hand, because you got that one scene where it looks like Hody Jones is about to just torment the hell out of Luffy, because Luffy's in that bubble, and he's got the devil fruit and water, seawater. He's not able to use his powers all the way through. You're thinking this is it. Luffy's going to get tortured. Zoro's probably going to end up lost, looking for the bathroom to go take a piss and then beat the hell out of Hody Jones. You're thinking something like this is going to happen. Not the case. I think his name is Fukaboshi, the oldest of the Neptunian brothers, shows up. And he was like, hey, Straw Hat Luffy, I'm going to get you to the deck. When you get on the deck, it's going to be easier to fight. But I just want to say, we have our own promise to protect our sister. This is really important to us. We as the readers know that that promise and everything comes in the aftermath of what happened with the sister and everything. So not the sister, but with the mother. And now they got to protect the sister because she's got this power and she doesn't actually realize it. You know, Hody Jones and Decken are afraid of it. And so when you look at all of this, right, and you got Fukaboshi telling Luffy, we were wrong about you, we misjudged you. Luffy's making amends, and it's just like Madame Charlie had the prophecy that Luffy was gonna destroy Fish-Man Island. Okay, well, how's he gonna destroy Fish-Man Island and he's making amends with this? So I'm thinking maybe she saw Decken with that hat, but Luffy is in the process of getting on that ship. And I like how Oda, one of the things he says is, Oda has one of these brothers that comes in to protect Shirahoshi when Decken tries to attack her, turn her into shish kebab and everything. You know, they say, father said that no harm can come to this ship. It's very important. And I'm like, well, I don't think they said very important, but I got the sense that it's very important because it's like, this ship is in the way. It's big as hell. Luffy's like a walking tank. Why not have Luffy just blow this shit up to smithereens? What's so special about this ship? So that's what's got me thinking, because it's called Noah and all other shit, like I'm thinking that ship, there's something religious behind that, or it has a bigger purpose. It has a bigger purpose. And because of the size of it and because of the size of Fish-Man Island, that's for all the fishmen. That's for all the fishmen. That's the only other way you can kind of come with this. But my problem with that, okay? My problem with that is, what's the point? What's the point? Because they're on Fish-Man Island, and Odahime, the whole thing with the Reverie, unless I'm missing something, she wanted to have the Fish-Man Island have like the representation and to make good with all the people on the surface level and kind of mend those fences and everything. But I don't know. Oda's going somewhere with this, but I don't know quite where he's taking this. But it's almost like this is one of those things where Oda teases something, but he doesn't fully jump on it, and it annoys the fuck out of me. It annoys in a good way, because it keeps me reading. And this is one of those things, like when I get caught up in One Piece, like I'll do the chapter reviews and all this stuff, but I won't be able to just, you know, jump right into doing discussions and everything, because I'm going to have to go back and reread all of this shit and read it with my notes. That way I can go, okay, where's this going? Because, like, this is, he has so much shit crammed. So much shit crammed. So much shit crammed. Like, this is mind-blowing. and how everything kind of connects bit by bit by bit by bit. Like, I totally forgot Tom had a fucking brother until we got to Fish-Man Island and you saw Frankie talking to him. It's just like, I'm fuck. You know a little meme where you see like the formula and everything. I think it's from Limitless. I see the formulas and all this shit kind of calculating. The guys just trying to keep up with it. Yeah, my mind sometimes I read this series like I just got smoke and shit coming out my ears. So I'm like, so I then got off on a bit of a tangent. So I'm gonna end the chapter review here. So my chapter question to you guys, right, is when you look at Decken and the betrayal, and then you turn around and you look at the fact that Luffy and Fukaboshi have made amends with each other. What do you think Oda's trying to say there? I think that that's very interesting because on one hand you have betrayal, on the other hand you have two people coming to an agreement. So I mean a reconciliation. I thought that was a very beautiful way to end this chapter. So what were your thoughts on that? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Have a nice